Hey, welcome back to Bridal Sewing Techniques. And this poor bride has tried as hard as she can, but her wedding gown still doesn't fit. We're going to fix that by making a corset back for her. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own corset kit. This is what you can use to change a zipper-backed gown into a looped back corset. It's super easy. You just have to go through these steps. Pre-mark the distance between the loops. You can use pens or heat erasable ink as I've done here. There is a way to adjust your spacing. I'll show you that later. Basically, I'm just using a piece of 2-inch double-sided satin ribbon for my base, and then I am using a matching satin cording. If you really want to elevate the look, make a matching spaghetti straps out of the dress fabric, run a cord through them for extra sturdiness, and then follow these same steps. So, like I said, you can use a pin, but I like to use the needle of my sewing machine to be what I wrap this cording around. And you can see I do just an immediate twist right there in front of the needle. So I'm going to stitch straight up to my mark, pull this cording around to the right, wrap it around the needle, stitch and back stitch. You can see I did it 2 or 3 times. I pause behind that stitch, flip a little loop in there, run over it a couple more times, and then move on to the next one. I found this is a lot easier than dealing with needles. I have used, pins. I have used pins in the past for this, but this just seems easier for me. Now, you can see with this, I am dealing with a little bit the ribbon trying to bunch up or something like that while I'm sewing. None of that ends up being a problem in the end, as long as you still kind of correct it and stretch it as you go. So it can be a little fumbly, as you can tell. You know this channel, I am real. I don't like to edit out little fumbly things. You can see it's a little fumbly running over that cording and keeping the ribbon straight. But as long as you stay in control of the sewing process, you really shouldn't have any troubles at all. And in the end, I just kind of stretch it out flat and press it anyways. And that seems to fix everything. The length of this corset kit was determined by basically the original length of the zipper. That was an adequate length for her, and so I cut the ribbon usually about 3/4 of an inch longer at the top and the bottom, so about 1.5 inches too long total. And I have a little extra in the top and the bottom because we are going to finish off the ends of these. These are going to be nice finished looking corset kits, just like the kits that you can buy pre-made. I just like these because I can use different colors on hand. I can use a ribbon that matches. There, I'm heat sealing the end of that satin cording. But I can use a ribbon that matches, and then I can also easily dye to match this satin cording. Now let's just take a look at our work here. Ignore the marks on the right side of the loops. I was just experimenting with some spacing before I decided on the spacing that's on the left side. Now I have a very sturdy piece of boning. It's 1/2 inch wide. I have capped the ends. I'm only picturing sewing down the length of the boning once just for brevity's sake, but I do like to go down it a couple of times. So here I go, somewhere down the middle. It's not particularly imperative that you're right on the edge both times, but I would definitely just go ahead and do 2 rows of stitches so that the boning is not flippy. Is that a professional enough word? Yeah, we don't want it flipping around in there. So I'm going to cap the bottom here and run right off the end of it. Next step, we will take another piece of ribbon equal in width, length, and color, and we're going to lay it atop of the project just as we were sewing. We have the loops to the left, and it's offset just a little bit. And I'm feeling for the track with my finger. This is very important, especially if the ribbon that you're using is a little bit too opaque to see through. I'm tracking with my finger. I can feel that the little loop-de-loops are staying on the right, and on the left, we've got the larger loops that will be the corset loops. And I'm just gonna sew this right along there in that ditch, and that's what's gonna give us our nice finished edge when we're done. You can see we're getting there. Now I have flipped it, and we're going to do a stitch on the outside of this whole mechanism that we've created. By the way, this knot just gives stability and neatness and ease of sewing when we go to put this into the gown, but it's also one more row of stitches holding on to those loops, holding on to that boning. Sometimes when I see corset kits that only have, I kid you not, one, maybe two rows of stitching in there, it just makes my heart skip a beat. I'm just so scared that those loops are going to come undone. I can't tell you how many dresses I've had come to me that need repairs because there were not enough rows of stitching to make it secure. So I'm just going to pull on these, make sure everything is caught in there nice and strong. I'm going to press them. And here's how they look right after we press them. Now we need to sew them into the dress. That could be a video in itself, but essentially you're going to take the zipper out and you're going to piece this corset kit in. And so it's stacked in the seam allowance from the inside of the gown. I hope to make that video for you very soon. Make sure you hit subscribe so that you don't miss it when it comes out. I have one last super important detail to share with you. I'm going to show you how you can adjust this looping so that you can adjust how close the ribbon is laced together in the back. This video was an answer to a question. I had someone in our sewing community in the Discord app request this video. So make sure you join Discord as well so that I can help you out and the whole community can help you out when you need it. It's free, and you don't even have to be pro level yet, so don't worry about that. Well, here is one way that you can loop it. I'm kind of showing you in general what I just showed you in the video, but here's two other ways. The looping style on the left is going to give you some more spacious ribbon work back there, and the looping style on the right is going to make the ribbon work a little more tight, a little more coverage, even a little bit more supportive. I do recommend that you just sample these out, try them, different looping patterns to see what's going to look best for the design that you are working with. I hope this has helped you.